this town, you know.
Jimmy, how we looking there?
100%.
Let's go.
Great. Let's go. Okay. So, Courtney, when you were younger, what was your idea of like Prince Charming?
Oh man, I didn't really have one. That's a trick question. Let me see. Well, I did. I mean, but when I was young, when you're talking about before I was sexually active, and before I was sexually active, I was hanging around with rock stars. So, I had a huge crush on the first one that mentored me. His name was Julian Cope. He's been forgotten by history pretty much, but he was part of that sort of Liverpool Echo and the Bunnymen scene. There was a moment there. And when I got out of juvenile hall, which was mixed sexes, it was co-ed, but you know, I'd been sequestered in all-girl boarding schools, and then I was in a mixed co-ed juvenile hall. None of the stoner guys appealed to me. The libraries in both the juvenile halls I was in, one was in Eugene, Oregon, and one was in Salem, Oregon, were stuffed with Harlequin romances and also Reader's Digest classics. So I have read Moby Dick, but I've read the Reader's Digest version. Do you know what I mean? And I've read War and Peace, but I've read the Reader's Digest version. So I read the Harlequin romances. They didn't really appeal to me. So after about 10 of them or 8 of them, they're all the same. They're all just like this dominant male that comes in and busts open your boost, and this passive female. And I didn't see myself really as the passive female, pretty enough to fit that mold or whatever. Before I was sexually active, and then I went to Dublin, and there's sexually active, and then there's stripping. So stripping was before I was sexually active too. So I didn't have, the quick answer is I didn't really have one.
You didn't have I'm gonna get married at 22, get a white picket fence.
No, I'm going to be a movie star and a rock star too. I'm going to be a movie star and a rock star too. I'm going to be a movie star and a rock star too. I was just pure ball of ambition, and
there was like resentment with, I don't want to say resentment, but I know that it seemed like with Kurt, when you were pregnant, there was some bitterness that he got to be a rock icon and you were on the cusp of becoming a rock icon.
I coveted is the success that was so fast. Not initially. I was really, 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 really excited for them. I was when we were still platonic. I was on the ferry. Billy Corgan would not pay for my flight back from Roskilde, and Nirvana had played with the Pumpkins at that show. So I was on the ferry with the Nirvana guys, and I had a crush on Kurt. He was gorgeous. I mean, he was beautiful and enigmatic and evasive. And this is after Reading, but I still was dating and sleeping with Billy Corgan. But he kind of lost me at this moment. This is the moment he specifically lost me. That would be about 6-8 months later. But he kind of lost me at this moment. So Alex McLeod, who was the road manager, goes, "You guys are the most requested song on K-Rock." And I was the one that had earlier told all of them, Dave, Chris, and Kurt, don't put out Smells Like Teen Spirit. Put it in Bloom. It's a better song. I swear to God, I made an impassioned whole speech about it. It's a better song. Don't put out Smells Like Teen Spirit first. And obviously I was wrong. But Smells Like Teen Spirit was getting super big requests at K-Rock, and Kurt didn't know what that meant. He didn't know what that meant. Like, he didn't even know what I meant. I was such a scene stirrer that, like, he had to go to Dave Grohl and say, "Why is Calvin calling his band Courtney Love?" And Dave's like, "You don't know who Courtney Love is?" Because I was a well-known scene stir. If I came to see your band, me and this girl Jennifer Finch from L7, if we came to see your band was like on the radar. If Jennifer flashed you, your band was on the radar. If I stage dived, your band was on the radar. So we were kind of like very much hanging out with the Peppers. Very much.
Why is that corny though?
Because I hadn't made it in a rock band yet, but I was going to. So I wasn't a groupie. I wasn't a groupie. I wasn't like sleeping with guys in bands. That's not what I was doing. But I was a scenester, just a really well-known scenester. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I was. So Kerr knew that I was well known enough that Calvin, what's Calvin's
Calvin
last? Not Calvin Harris.
No,
Calvin, you know,
from
Calvin
K-
Kill
K
Rock
Records,
Stars,
yeah.
right? Kill Rockstar and Lois, my old roommate. They had named their band Courtney Love, and I remember calling Calvin and saying, my band's gonna be really big. You need to change the name. No one's ever gonna hear of you, lady. And even up till very recently, Dave Navarro had a radio show and he was playing these Courtney Love records, and he goes, "I thought that was your first thing." I'm like, no, dude.
Can you hold on one sec?
Yeah.
Jimmy, I'm just glanced over at the profile shot. Should he be on a slider so he can get around her a little bit, get in front a little bit?
Yeah, there's a couple of adjustments we could make.
Can we make a couple adjustments right now?
Yep.
Courtney, I'm just gonna stop you for a sec.
Okay.